can't be called to question at the moment. So, not even for 1 second should you let that be a concern of yours, even though I imagine at this particular moment in time, it actually is. If your heart were being weighed in the balance, it's going to be light as a feather in terms of the level of guilt that it has. But you might be feeling like it's heavy as an anvil. And that's because maybe it is heavy as an anvil on another level, which is the level of sadness, the level of frustration, the level of anger that you're feeling because you really, really do care and you're hitting opposition. And on one level, because of this, you're beginning to feel like you're kind of being drained of inspiration. And nobody really can blame you but yourself. Okay. And that's if any like way your heart can be called to question, it's by yourself. And it's in a manner where you really shouldn't be doing so at the present moment in time. Because what's happening is you're just really quite simply losing your fire because you've been pushing up against something for a really long period of time, and you don't seem to be seeing the transformation which you had long since hoped would come together by this particular moment. And so, of course, you're going to lose your enthusiasm. It's natural, but you're not losing your devotion, are you? Now, we both know that that's the case. You're not losing your devotion. It's just that you're dealing with, well, a lot of resistance. And that's going to make it so that that fire or that fight is going to, like, kind of dampen down. Or at the very, least, it's going to turn into frustration or anger. And even with that, like, it's either going to burn exceptionally brightly due to the frustration and the anger, and then dampen down again because that's a fire that can't really burn for that long. But you need to remember a couple of key points that you're perhaps not really able to focus on due to a lack of perspective. And if you would like to regain that particular level of perspective, I highly recommend scheduling in one of my astrological services. You can do that at the link that you'll see above if you're watching this on YouTube, and if you're watching it elsewhere, it'll be further down in the video. So at the moment, you're needing to temporarily separate yourself from the battle that you're kind of caught up in. Anuradha Nakshatra, which is where this particular full moon takes place, deals with the concepts of devotion. But when we're dealing with devotion, we have to have two components involved. We have to have the thing or the cause or the person to which we're devoted. I know that's more than two things. I think I said at least two things, though. Okay. So anyway, you have to have the cause, the thing, the person that you're devoted to, and you have to have the person who is feeling the devotion. So by the very nature of that, you're going to need to have separation or detachment or a level of boundaries. But you see, when we're putting our all into something, that boundary becomes very fuzzy. We get caught up in things. We identify with the struggle. We identify with the passion. And on a certain level, that's good because it kind of pushes us onwards. But when we're kind of hitting a brick wall in relation to that, then it's only going to be natural that we're going to kind of bounce back and kind of retreat. And that's what you need to do because you need to take a look at that wall that you're facing. You need to understand it a little more deeply so that you can perhaps recognize that continually running up against a brick wall is not something that's going to be a helpful solution to this problem at all. And maybe on a certain level, you've kind of come to love that brick wall. You've kind of come to go, okay, well, this is a struggle I'm familiar with. This is what I know. I run up against the brick wall, and eventually that brick wall will weaken, but so too will your head. But your heart won't. And that's the thing to remember. Your heart won't, but maybe your level of enthusiasm for banging your head against that brick wall certainly may do so. So, what's the solution? Well, I think you know in the background is you're being asked to not bang your head up against a brick wall anymore. That brick wall is there for a reason, even if that reason is nothing other than you needing to realize you might do better if you dismantled that wall a brick at a time, or you might do better if you climb over that brick wall, or you might do better if you just kind of retreat and go and get a sledgehammer and take care of it in one fell swoop. But in any case, running against a wall, hoping that it's going to move out of your way and that you're going to somehow go through it, well, maybe that'll work at some point in time, but you have to ask yourself how you're really going to feel after you do so. So it's wise to change your approach at this particular moment in time. That's why you're facing this, right? And it's good that you're losing your enthusiasm, because losing your enthusiasm is going to make you think, I need to take a break, even if that is preceded by a level of depression. That heart is not gone. That care is not gone. The devotion is not gone. Your sense of perspective is maybe in need of, um, looking at, and maybe you need to kind of temporarily let the emotions that you're feeling at getting all banged and bruised up by that brick wall kind of mellow out into the background so that you can then see a better approach to the situation that you're dealing with. And if you could use a little bit of help with that approach, again, there are several different levels of astrological service, even some new consultations that are available on my astrological services page. If you want to schedule with me, you can find the link to do so just above if you're watching this on YouTube. And if you're watching it elsewhere, it'll be further down in the section below. That's going to do it for this look at the full moon in Anuradha Nakshatra, which takes place on the 23rd of May, 2024. Until next time, please do take the very best care of yourself. Bye now.